car salespeople are very process-oriented people. Don't rush into something because somebody tells you the car might sell. It goes away forever. I'm sorry. I swear, dealerships will say anything to get you in the door. Their main goal is simple. A lot of people think their number one goal when they're talking to you on the phone is to sell you a car, but that's not the actual goal. The actual goal is to get you in store, because once they get you in store, it is then easier to buy a car. Believe it or not, car salespeople are very process-oriented people. It's how they get the deals they do. And sometimes dealerships like to fib in order to get you in the door or convince you to make it to the next step of the process. So these are the top 5 lies that dealerships tell you in order to get you to buy a car. The number 5 lie that you hear at the dealership is, we want to buy your trade. We want to buy it. Oh my God. I wasn't even looking to calling you today, and I had somebody come in the door, and that person said they wanted a 1996 Ford Taurus. It was insane. And you know what? I was just thinking about it. I'm like, Ethan has a Ford Taurus. My manager says we will give you anything for that car, but we need to see it. So can you come in like now? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, we need this car. This guy needs this 1996 Ford Taurus. You might even get a letter in the mail saying, we're paying you top dollar for your trade, or we want to get you out of your lease early because we need inventory. Dealership's number one goal is to get you in store. They're willing to say anything to get you in store, because when you're in store, they trust their salespeople are good enough to sell you. So when it comes down to it, understand the dealership probably doesn't need your trade that much. You are not special in this regard. Dealerships just are trying to get you indoors. So don't fall for this tactic. Stay emotionally out of the deal and understand this dealership's probably just telling you this. Figure out what your trade value is and then go to the dealership. Number 4, dealerships love to use this. Think about a decision. Let's say you're negotiating a car deal. You're sitting back there. You say, you know what? I want to think about it. I get it. You want to think about it, right? But I hate to tell you, but we have somebody coming to look at this car. I know this thing has been on the lot for 120 days, but we reduced the price and this thing is hot, hot, hot. It's gonna sell tomorrow. You can think about it, but I'm pretty sure this thing's gonna sell by the time you go home. Dealerships love to use this. It's a psychology thing. You gotta remember, sales does a lot of psychology. It's the fear of loss. Do I wanna risk losing this deal for the opportunity that it can sell? And in theory, this might not even be a lie. There is a world where the dealership could sell that car. But you have to remember, unless you are buying a 911 GT3 RS or something super rare, doesn't exist elsewhere, there are always other cars. Do not ever rush into a big decision like this just because somebody else might look at it. There's famous phrases that people want to talk about it, but when it comes down to it, if you need to think about a decision, don't rush into something because somebody tells you the car might sell. Number 3, don't let a dealership try to rush you into a decision. Mr. Brian, I know that you've been looking to buy a car and price has been an objective. It is the last day of the month and my manager is willing to give everything in order to give a deal. When can you come down here in order to talk about numbers? Because I'm telling you, he's willing to do anything right now. He's willing to just give you the farm and back. If you come in right now to buy a car, we are 2 away from quota. There could be some truth to this statement, right? Some dealerships might be 2 away from quota, but every dealership uses the end of the month promotions, or they might say something, wow.
Oh my God. Wow.
That 1.9% is gonna expire today. If you don't come buy a car, it goes away forever. I'm sorry. In reality, you can really easily check, and we're about to put this on our website here very soon, I promise you, the rates month by month. In theory, month rates can change, but in reality, they don't change that much. A 1.9% on a car that isn't selling probably isn't going to 5.9 the next month. It might go to 3.9, it might go to 2.49, or it might go to 1.49. You don't really know. But when it comes down to it, don't let a dealership try to rush you into a decision. There are some deals that really do end at the end of the month. I'm telling you, that is true. But if you need to think about a decision, it is not worth making one of the biggest decisions of your life just to rush into a promotion. The end of the month deals make deals easier, but if you want to be a surefire way to avoid any of this issue, just ask the dealership, what's the deal? If you need me to come in that badly, what are you willing to do for me? I'm listening. And you know what's gonna happen? They're either gonna tell you a great deal or say, well, I'm sorry, this deal is so secret, so crazy, I can't tell you over the phone. We can't have the government listening. And if that happens, just go to the next dealership or just go live your life because the government's not listening to your car deals. Sorry. Number 2. I would love to remove the tint off the car and the wheel locks and the theft protection, but we already installed it. You know, you have to understand, we have expense as a dealership and we can't install something and then take it away. So I'm sorry, you have to pay $4,000 for that add-on package. I know, but we installed it, but there's good value there. First off, what I say every single time when the dealership says they already installed that, that's your problem, not mine. I didn't ask for it. And when it comes down to it, I'm not paying for it. Dealerships that try to do this, first off, you have to understand if they're charging you $4,000, the cost on this is probably a few $100 to the dealership. They do this in bulk. They do this with every single car. They are 100% making a lot of money on those add-ons, which is why they do it. So do not allow the dealership saying that they installed it. If they really want to call your bluff, just fine. Just remove it. Take it off the car. I don't need it. They won't do that. But you can get all these things removed. Dealership ceramic coating costs a dealership like $5 and probably an hour's worth of labor. So $105, but they charge 10 grand for it. And not 10 grand, they charge 2 grand for it. It can be absurd. Do not pay for these add-ons. There's no reason to. And worst case, just tell them, I'll go to another dealership that doesn't have them. I promise you, the dealership will bend over backwards for you. The final lie that people tell you, you need to have the warranty because if something breaks, you're going bankrupt. When it comes down to the dealership, when buying a car is in the finance office, and they're gonna say something along the lines of, you know what? The technology on these cars, boys, you're telling me the technology, it's expensive. That screen, $7,000. An oil change, $200. When it comes down to the sensors in the wheels, $6 grand. You need to have the warranty because if something breaks, you're going bankrupt. Now, don't get me wrong. Warranties can have values and technology is expensive. But I'm telling you, every number they throw on how expensive something is probably isn't that expensive to fix. And when it comes down to it, the likelihood of things breaking down are not 20, 30, 40%. It's probably less than 5% of vehicles actually have issues. That being said, it can be that. And I will tell you, warranty companies don't offer warranties because they're nice people. It's because they're very profitable and they rarely have to use them. I think the statistic, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, it's like 70 to 80% of people buy a warranty and never use it because they didn't need it. When it comes down to it, buy a warranty based on peace of mind. If you're interested in the warranty, which I'm not even saying is a bad investment, you never want to say yes to the first offer. My rule of thumb from somebody that was in finance for 6 years is just say no, you're not interested, it's too expensive. And keep saying no until the finance manager moves on to the next subject. You're gonna see it because when it comes down to it, they might even have a little anger in them, like, oh, okay, fine. Let's just get your paperwork done. I'll be right back. That's the moment. Like there's a moment when a finance manager realizes they lose. They're not selling you, they can't do it, and they're frustrated. They've gone down to their bottom price. And when they're there, then you can consider. If a dealership's trying to do this in monthly payment, don't do it. Ask for the cash out the door price. Ask them what it would cost cash to buy that warranty. And this is the most particular thing, is when you ask for that cash price, when you get to your purchase agreement, do not make this mistake. Check that the price they gave you is the price that is on that sheet, because so many people will say it's going to cost you like $1,400 because in reality they're doing $20 a month times 60, which is equaling $1,400. I understand that math doesn't math, but in reality they had the leg in the deal, which means your payment was actually $40 less expensive. So they charge you $4 grand for the warranty and said what cost you compared to what you're looking at, $20 a month. So always check the purchase agreement, make sure that matches if you want a warranty. These are going to be the top 5 lies that dealerships tell you in order to sell you a car or any type of product. If you like this kind of content, I want you to put it down in the comment section below to educate you guys the most as possible. I know we do a lot of negotiations, but we want to start talking about more. So show some love, share your friends and family, call it a day.